from day one, he's been a caring, a giving person, very, very, very giving person. I mean, when you hear the phrase that he'll give you the shirt off his back, and he actually would. He actually would give you that shirt off his back. So that's why in this community, you know, like they say, well, damn, something like Robin Hood or different things like that, because he genuinely cared for people, and he really did.
Hustle, hustle. Like Robin Hood, you know. He did everything for the neighborhood, for the school, some people to college, you know, anything he can help pay people, light bill, rent, whatever. You know, anybody come ask him, it's cool. He helped you.
You know, man, Robert did a lot of things for people, man. You know, like paying people rent, light bill. You know, person car tear up, Robert would give him some money to get the car fixed. He was that type of person.
Well, people will come to me sometime and say, Robert Clark, such and such can't pay their house bill. They about to lose their house. And I didn't even know the people. And I would say, how much it is? And they would say, well, $800. I would come right out of my pocket and give them the $800.
People respected him. People loved him because he did a lot for those within the community who didn't have. He bought basketball jerseys, he paid light bills, people done ran off with stuff.
The guys used to come through and snatch a packet. What they want to do that for? Ooh, I think one, he snatched a packet. Oh boy, when he snatched the packet, he tried to drive off. The boy opened up a big old knife and then went to stabbing him. And one incident happened over there, white boy come over there, he snatched up. Tater head jumped in the car, cut the car off, snatched him out. And one of the white guys, he was all the way across the canal, wasn't even wet at all. We don't know how that man got across there, but his buddy, he won't do that no more.
Well, see, you know, you had drug dealers, and you had people that did it for necessity. You know what I'm saying? And not only, you know, you had drug dealers who were very, very selfish, that would, you know, keep everything to themselves. They showmanship, show this and show this, this. And Rob was never like that, man. You know, and he always, you know, was in a time where he would help somebody. You know, I mean, the kids, the Pony League football team, he would, you know, buy the uniforms, and then people in the project, you know, that maybe need their light bill paid or maybe need this part paid, man. He was always giving back, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, and he was always a person with a helping hand, man, and never, you know, and what really, really drew me more to him outside of any other people that was out there hustling is the fact that he was like an invisible man. You know, in other words, you know, you never know where he is, you never see him, but yet still he was always around.
Well, if you, a lot of people came to see me, they heard about me, but they didn't know me because I will pass short pants, pass kung fu shoes, and a t-shirt. And if you didn't know me personally, guys would come up and say, man, y'all know where Robert Clark at? And me and 5, 6 guys stand around there, we look at him, and he look around, he keep asking, man, oh, I'm looking for Clark. And we would ask him, who sent you?
So we were sitting on the day bank one day, and while Joe came through, he was looking for Robert. But then all over there, Robert had just walked off, and they were walking behind him, but Robert didn't know they were behind him. And so, but Hal went to call him Harry back then, right? And so I wouldn't say Robert, I said Harry. He turned around. When he turned around, he saw the police, and he walked another way.
I could remember, you know, meeting Mr. Clark and saying, man, you know, I don't have to draw any more cardboard to put in the bottom of my sneakers. You know, I'm able to wear a brand new pair of sneakers now and literally, you know, perform in those sneakers. So his name was ringing, you know, for positivity, you know.
If he had it, he'll give it to you. I don't think he ever said no to nobody, to be honest.
Kids that didn't have shoes, I would buy their shoes. And I can remember this one young guy. He used to play basketball all the time, but he was a young guy. And one day I came to the basketball court. He was sitting on the side of the court. And I said, man, why you ain't playing? He said, I ain't got no shoes. I got to wait till my mama get some money. And I said, what size you wear? And he told me his size. And I went and bought him a pair of Jordans, 2 pair of Jordans.
Just one day, you know, happened to like use a routine, like the young guys we had two basketball courts. We had like one side where the grown-ups played, and then you had the other side like where my age played or whatever. So a lot of guys used to watch me because I was always big for my size, you know. And they'll see me playing with guys my age, like, we got to get him over here with the big boys. That he just do what he want to do with them guys over there. We need to get him over and try to get his game better. So I'm sitting on the sideline one day, and Robert Clark came over there. He was like, hey, man, what you sit right here? Why you ain't playing ball? 'Cause, you know, usually he'll see me, I'll be playing ball. Like, shoot, I want to play. I said, but I ain't my shoes, you know, I ain't got no shoes. He like, you got on shoes? I was like, yeah, but I flipped my shoes over and had a big hole in them and my toes sticking out the top. So he was like, oh, okay. I said, yeah, I want to play, but I ain't got no shoes. And I can't come back then. Once you got out of school, you had school shoes and you had play shoes. You couldn't. When you got home from school, you had to go put on your play shoes, take your school shoes off, boy. Your mama catch you out there playing in your school shoes, boy, you gonna get a whooping, boy. I'm straight up about playing in there. They get the first thing they ask you, you must be rich. So, bad as I wanted to wear my school shoes up there to play ball, it wouldn't risk no butt whipping. So, Robert, you know, we sat there and talked for a little while, got to know each other, you know, and then I think he dropped me off that night. I was like, man, I got to go home for life. He was like, hey, man, I'll talk to your mom, let her know why you out so late. I was like, man, you gonna get me a whooping, man. I got to go home, man. I can't be out, man, when them lights on. So we took it to the house. I be dog, boy. My mama was standing on the porch with that belt. I said, Lord, this man done got me a whooping. Boy, this man finna get me a whooping. Rob said, stay in the car, man. I got this. I'm looking like, I hope he do. Lord, I hope he do. Boy, we ain't get no air whooping, boy, back then. But anyway, he came back to the car. He like, you good? Go on in the house. You show. My mom still got that belt in her hand, boy. Man, you good. I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Went to school, went in there, you know. Mom said, boy, you lucky that man. You with that man up, boy. I finna tear the skin off you. You know, I tried to get her to cry. No, you got to cry now. He spoke up for you. You wouldn't have been with him, boy. I'm gonna knock the skin off you. But anyway, went to school the next day. Got to the house. Mom sitting on the porch, walked from the bus stop, and she said, hey, I was like, you know, good afternoon. You know, you got to speak back in the days. You come home, whatever. My mom say, the guy came by here today while you was at school. I was like, what guy? She said, the man that dropped you off last night in the burgundy car. I was like, oh, yeah? She said, yeah, and he left you something. She ain't tell me what he left me or whatever. I was like, all right, you know, I ain't thinking nothing there. I went in the house. She said, look over there in the corner. You'll see what he left you. So when I walked in the house, looked over, I just seen some bags and boxes and stuff piled in the corner, like about 4 or 5 boxes, look like shoe boxes. Looking over there. I say, that's what he left. Mom said, yeah, that's all that over there yours. I went over there and opened the box. Looked in there and seen some Jordans. Oh man, these mine? Why ain't I thought I would have a pair of Jordan on my feet, boy. XJ 900, boy, with my mother. You know what I'm saying? You wore a pair of Chuck Taylor back then, you was a baller, bro. Or some Reebok Classic, man. People rarely wore Jordans unless your family just had money, man. you know, penny loafers and stuff like. So I never experienced a name brand shoe. Probably the closest I came to a name brand shoe was Converse, or like I said, a pair of Reeboks. And you only got 2 pair of shoes for school. You got a black pair, a white pair. That's it. Each. But to make a long story short, so I went through the first box. Boom. Jordans. Went through the second box. Jordans. All of them Jordans. Got a couple balling pants in there to go with them. Oh, man. You show that he left this for me. That's yours. So, all right, bet that up. Went in there, did my chores, homework. I said, well, I got to get to the court. Hopefully, I was hoping I ran into him so I could thank him, you know what I'm saying? So I get up there, put on play shoe, go up there to the basketball court. I wound up bumping into Robert. I was like, man, thank you, man. You know, I appreciate that. You know, you buying me them shoes and stuff. So Robert looked at my feet. Robert like, yeah, but why you ain't got them on? I said, man, I'm wearing them shoes to school, man. You finna come mess up them J's up here, man, playing no basketball. You know, no, they ain't what I bought. I ain't bought them for the wear to school. I bought them for you to wear up here. I buy you some school shoes. I ain't finna argue with you. I went back to the house. I say, well, which one you want me to put on? He say, you put on any one you want to. They yours. I said, I already know which pair I was gonna put on. It was like some Jordans. It had like a lot of, they was black and they had like a lot of colors around the side of them. Them things so fresh. I put them on with some black balling, boy. Boy, you can't tell me nothing, boy. It's like, my self-esteem was like, I was like real quiet, but I was also outspoken. I got to court, everybody looking like, first thing they did, they looked at my feet. They ain't never seen me with no shoes, like no name brand clean shoes on. Everybody, where were you getting them J from? Man, them J came out. I never told them who bought them from me. You know, this and that. First thing they went to holler about, oh, he doing something he ain't supposed to be doing. He done started hanging up there by Charles Vicker lately. No telling what that boy out there doing, because that's where all the ballers hung at, you feel me? Charles Vicker, you know, Okeechobee Center had a store back then. Everybody hung at it, and you know, a lot of activity went up there and stuff. But you know how we is, you know. So instead of going to the little boy, what we call the little boys court, I went straight to the grown men, got picked up off top. I think that day though, man, you know, with just to have those shoes, man, just made me feel so good and wanted to make Robert proud. I took my game to a whole nother level. I used to always jump. A lot of time I get a rebound, my hands be over the rim. He be like, why you don't dunk that? He said, you gonna dunk that today or you ain't leaving the basketball court. I said, well, I better dunk, cause I don't think my mama gonna let me get away 2 nights in a row, come on with that lights on, boy. So I'm gonna get him what he wants so he can take me home, boy. I ain't finna get no whipping, man. Tired of getting whipping. And just so happened, ball came off the rim. That was my first alley-hoop ever catching in my life. And I didn't even know I had dunked until I heard everybody screaming and hollering. I'm like, what the hell they hollering for? He like, man, you can do that again. I said, yeah. So now they done stopped the game. You got somebody throwing me an alley. I think it was Stick throwing me an alley. And I caught it, boom. He said, keep doing that. You know, they work with me and stuff. So I was like, you know, and then from then on there, it's like me and Robert were like cool, you know what I'm saying? I used to go, even though we weren't allowed to go over there to the ditch bank, I used to go over there all the time or whatever, you know, and sit with him, and he talked to me and guide me on, you know, positive stuff.
With me, coming from a single parent home, Mr. Clark did a lot for me. A lot for me, especially like during high school, you know. He bought school clothes, and to be honest, man, every pair of Jordans came out, I had them.
Yeah, you taking care of me. That's what I'm saying. That's all I know, you know. You gonna hear what you gonna hear, but you gonna listen to what you want to listen to, you know what I mean? And you know what you know.
My senior year in high school, man, I told him, I said, I want to go to the prom. And I I needed certain things, and the man rented me a limousine, gave me money for a rental car. And at that time, we had the little clique, you pretty much know, me, Jesse, Will, and all of us. So after the prom, it made me feel good that I got out the car, me and my wife, we got out the car, and all my partners got in that car. They had it for like 6 hours, and they just ripped the town up in the limo. I mean, man, that was like a good experience for me, you know.
And the thing is this, right, he just had a good moral sense to him, whereas he gave back, you know what I'm saying? He would give back, and he would give people opportunities, whatever the case may be. You know, you might have a person that's in the trucking business. You may have a person in the clothing business. If they needed something, you know, they would go and talk to him, and he would always give to him, you know. And he just got a reputation like that, you know. And that's one of the special things about him, is the fact that he always had that sense of giving.
That was just the person he was.
Even to right now, you know, he just had a sense of trying to make the community better, you know, trying to make the project better, trying to make somebody else better. That's just like a lot of the pro football players, even right now, even one for Robert, you know, giving them what they needed, you know what I'm saying, at the time, you know, they you know, whether it was words of wisdom, whether it was, you know, giving little money that they need to buy certain things while they're in college, or certain things that on their practicing, being encouraged or whatever, you know, he was always that one. He always let the young ones know that this ain't what you want to do. This ain't what your goal is. You got to get out and you got to get it. You got to go out there and try to make it, man.